Silva Plot Planetarium.
Well, as the Communist Manifesto is looking to destroy all the things that the West has brought to the world, scientific advancements, inventions, probably just due to the simple fact that they're white and Christian or Jewish. And so we got the Judo-Christian ethics being taught pretty much in a lot of schools. Yes, I'm not talking about the Big Bang and stuff like that. I mean, this is more to do with let's say pure science. I'm not sure if it's pure science. It's a theory. Okay, but the shape of the Earth and the shape of the stars and the shape of the planets is what this video is going to be about. And I'm just using this random video that I just pulled up here. It's a couple of astronomers. Astronomy means the study of the stars, the sun, moon and stars, the study of. Astrology is to do with which star sign you're born under and religious stuff that they came up with. But astronomy is just the pure science of studying the visible attributes around us which God has created. Okay, simple. And so just let's have a look at this.
Looking north and south in the summer sky.
Hey there, stargazers. I'm Dean Regas, astronomer for the Cincinnati Observatory.
And I'm James Albury, director of the Kika Silva Plot Planetarium in Gainesville, Florida. We're here to help you find your way around the sky tonight. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, right?
For the most part.
And the moon, planets, and stars rise in the east and set in the west, too.
Uh-huh.
So, how do the stars move in the north and south?
Oh, I see where this is going. We're going to do some spinning in this episode, aren't we?
Okay, so I mean, at this point, if you're a flat earther or you're a spherical earther, what they're actually saying is the stars move, right? Something's got to move. Either the earth is spinning to give the appearance that the stars are spinning, or the stars themselves are spinning if it's a flat earth. And so to this point, there's no bias and no biasness being taught at this point. I don't know if you understand that. A lot of flat earthers are just pretty fickle, but we'll keep going.
Yep. First, we're going to show you the stars and constellations you can find in the northern and southern sky.
And then we'll demonstrate how the sky seems to move over the course of a night in each direction. Hold on tight, let's get spinning.
Okay, we have our sky set to 10 p.m. facing north any night this week. What's the first thing you notice?
Okay, so what they're saying is there's a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere. So let's keep watching.
The Big Dipper, of course. It's about halfway up in the northwestern sky. 4 brighter stars make a cup, and 3 more make a curved handle.
And since we're facing north, the North Star, or Polaris, should be here too. It's not terribly bright, but it should be as bright as the Big Dipper's stars. There it is, about halfway up in the sky.
The North Star is part of the Little Dipper, but good luck trying to find that. 4 of its 7 stars are too faint to see in most cities.
Okay, so what they're saying here is that these 2 star constellations, which are found just the way they are here, if you can find the Polaris star, you should be able to find sort of the other 2, especially this one, which you can't actually see in the southern hemisphere, right? But remember, if it was a flat Earth, you should be able to use powerful telescopes. If let's say it was flat, so let's say it was this half was north, the other half was south. So the south round this side should use powerful telescopes to be able to see the Polaris, okay? And if they did, then why does the sky move differently in the north than it does in the south? And so to me, this is 100% clear evidence that we're living on a sphere and not a flat earth. But again, I'm trying to make logical sense of it. A lot of flat earthers are not very logical in their thinking. So tell me how you see it. Prove me wrong, someone, please.
But finding the North Star is simple when you have the Big Dipper around. Simply connect the dots on the 2 outer spoon stars. Continue that line over to the right, and you'll run smack dab into the North Star.
And if you continue that line, hop over to another recognizable group of stars.
They look like the letter W.
Yep.
By the way, do you know that if we're in the Middle East and let's say Islam started running the planet, they actually decapitate these people for teaching this, because the Quran does not teach what they're teaching. They just simply teach a flat earth, and that's it. And if you observe something different than a flat earth, you must be a witch and off with your head. You know. Now, we don't know who these guys are. You say they're Masons, you might say they're Jesuits, you might say they might be atheists, they might be, I don't know, Jewish, they might even be Islamic. But they might just be observing what they actually see. And so that is what real science is. It's the observation and scientific calculation of what we can actually observe. Okay, it's the definition of science.
And this is the constellation Cassiopeia the Queen. I know it doesn't look much like a queen, but the W can be her crown.
Oh, I can picture that. But the crown looks bent on one side.
Ah, I'll show you why as we go for a spin.
Maybe gay or something.
As the night moves on, the stars in the north move like this. Notice they seem to rotate around a central point, the North Star.
Now you see what I mean. If you have the southern hemisphere over here, everything seems to be spinning around this North Star, and so it seems to be very central in our sky in the north, and so which would mean that the sky in the south would be sort of moving the same direction, remember, which is anti-clockwise, right?
It's also called...
That's anti-clockwise, so as far as I would understand, maybe the sky in the south moves the opposite direction. I'm not sure.
Polaris, because it's our pole star, the star that just happens to be above our North Pole.
Yeah, like 432 light years above our North Pole. But as the Earth spins, the stars seem to make a counterclockwise circle around this spot. As the night rolls on, the Big Dipper gets lower while Cassiopeia rises up higher.
As daytime comes on, the stars are still there, we just can't see them with all the sunlight. But they continue to move around Polaris, and as we move towards afternoon, the Big Dipper is high in the sky, and Cassiopeia, bonk,
bonks her head on the ground. And that's why her crown is bent.
Exactly.
Now let's face south. It's
get your head around that, flat earthers, eh? Come on. They're going, oh, it doesn't make any sense. No, of course not. Explain it to me then. Please explain what these men are talking about, which millions of people can observe the same things as them. Okay, that's how we know that they're not lying, because we can observe the same thing.
PM, and we have two great summer constellations just above the horizon. Scorpius is on the right and Sagittarius is on the left.
You can recognize Scorpius by the bright red supergiant star called Antares. Antares can be really twinkly when it's low in the sky, and thus stands in for the Scorpion's beating heart.
Chasing the Scorpion is the constellation Sagittarius the Archer. He's a centaur, half man, half horse, with an arrow notched in his bow. In reality, the stars you can see look more like a teapot than a centaur.
He's chasing the Scorpion because this is how the stars move over the night.
Okay, so as we say, if it's a flat earth, then the stars would have to be moving. God in heaven himself would have to be moving as well, except maybe if he stayed in the pole star. That doesn't seem to move. Okay, so that might be where heaven is if it doesn't move. Everything else seems to be moving around it. And then you've got the southern hemisphere, so you've got these signs in the heavens in the southern hemisphere at this time of year. Let's have a listen.
In the southern sky, constellations appear to creep along the horizon. So Sagittarius follows Scorpius, and another constellation, Capricornus, follows Sagittarius. Capricornus is supposed to be a sea goat, half fish, but I'd say it looks more like a goofy grin or maybe underpants.
Yeah, that's now those people who understand about the Mandela effect, know that it used to be Capricorn, and it used to just be a goat. It used to be a goat skipping. That's all it was. It was never a half goat, half fish up until about 2 years ago. And there are people born under this star sign. Of course, that's astrology, but a lot of people know their star signs and stuff like that, which really has no bearing on things. You need to be born again. But these star signs are there to tell the story of the gospel and the fall of man and all that stuff. So these guys here represent Satan's kingdom. But it used to be a goat, and it never was a half fish goat thing. It never was that. Most people can remember that. What about you? Do you remember this half fish, half goat? Maybe you do. Or maybe you just want to go along with it because you don't believe in the Mandela effect.
The underpants.
Underpants? Anyway, these motions in the north and south are caused by
Less
one
of that,
thing,
my
the
channel.
rotation of the Earth.
You know,
So, in the south, look for Scorpius, followed by Sagittarius, followed by Capricornus.
And in the north, look for the Big Dipper, Polaris, and Cassiopeia. Hey James, can we spin the Earth really fast just for fun?
see, it's just like, you just can't argue with this evidence. You don't have to speak to anyone who worked in NASA. You don't have to speak to this scientist who's been, in solitary confinement for 100 years, because he thinks it's a flat Earth or something like that. Just it's a simple observation that anyone can do. The sky in the north is different from that in the south, which proves that we're living on a sphere. We're not living on a flat Earth. Thanks for watching, guys.